Well, not good news for the Volvo. The new pump is already clogging up in less than 10 miles of driving. So this is the old pump that came out of the car, and I want to see what's inside. Why is there so much sand and junk, and what is this stuff? So I'm trying to take off this strainer net, see what's going on the pickups. This really sucks. Sucks for everyone. The owner said he got this car cheap because it was low mileage, but it was obviously abused and not maintained. But how do you get sand in the tank? Seriously. I've never seen this before in my life. Well, there's the screen. It's very fine. There are the two impellers. Now, what if we just remove the screen and run this thing so the filter catches all this crap? Is that reasonable? I don't know. Ugh, what a shame. Here's a water permeability test of the strainer. So that just fills, and it does not. It's just full of water. It's not even going through. Oh my word. Let's try cleaning it out. Okay, blew it out with compressed air. Much better. Alright, so I talked it over with the customer. He was very upset that it was going to take more labor to fix this Volvo. So I told him, you know what? I want this thing gone. He threatened to take me to court because I want to charge him more money for cleaning his damn fuel tank. So I said, I'm going to shove this thing back in without the filter screen so you can take your car, drive it back to North Carolina, and I suggest you bring some spare fuel filters in case they get clogged on the way back. It's the best I can do, and we're going to ship this thing. So let's just blow this thing out, get all this junk out of here. And I was thinking we could disable the transfer pump so it doesn't keep kicking up the dirt and putting it in the bowl. As long as the tank is above, you know, halfway full, the bowl will fill from the top, and that will prevent sediment from getting picked up by the main pump. That's the best I could do for now. All this junk in here. Alright, so here's a little modification I did. For the transfer pump, I just cut the wire and put spay terminals on there. So right now, the car's running on just the main pump. As long as that bowl is being passively filled, we're fine. You just can't run it low. And you can always hook this up and it'll refill with the dirty gas. I'm not cleaning the tank. I'm not doing anything else to this car because the customer doesn't want to pay. So let's take a look at the scan data. You can see this pump is running at 27% duty cycle right now to keep up. A brand new pump was running about 10%. So this pump is worn. It's the original pump running without the filter screen, but we're not mixing up all the crap in the tank, and the bowl is passively filling slowly. And the main filter, external filter, is catching any stuff that gets by. So this should get the guy to North Carolina. I tell him, fill the tank with fresh gas and don't let it drop below, a quarter tank or something. They'll dilute it. So let's take a quick spin up and down the lane. Make sure we don't, drop below this 27 or above 27% duty cycle, and the pressure stays high. Obviously, the car is not happy about this fuel pump because it's weak. It will set a fuel pressure faulty signal, 2900 code. That's to be expected. Check engine lights on, yes. So we'll just monitor the data stream, make sure this thing is at least reliable. Right now it's more reliable without that filter screen on the pump than with the filter screen, because that screen clogs up in 10 miles. Alright, so far we're pretty steady here. I'm going to do a couple miles, just a quick acceleration, make sure the fuel isn't depleted. Now this car has no plates, so we're not going very far. Alright, back to the 27%. So that 33% is the limit there. So it's, like I said, it's not a new pump, but it's working just fine. Well, and there's no filter screen to clog up anymore. Oh my gosh. Basically, I want to make sure you can cruise on the highway without running out of fuel, fuel pressure. It's fine. Come pick up this junker. This is, I wouldn't call it well, it's kind of butchered. Butchered Volvo number 2. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Well, a little bonus footage. Here's the new pump, and sure enough, the filter screen is completely clogged up. This is less than 10 miles of driving, so clean that out. Clean out the pump, put it in his back seat so he can reinstall it when cleans out the tank. Alright, let's do a follow-up on the 2005 Volvo XC90. That car was pretty high on the butcher scale. I'll be honest, I did not expect that when it showed up at my shop. So, but the customer made a commitment to tow it from North Carolina, and you can't just tell them, take it back. It's that's not the way I operate. We at least try to address the customer complaints the best we can. So in this case, question of the day is, what the heck was inside of that fuel tank? It was this gray, fine particles that were suspended in the gas. They kept clogging up the pickup screen. You saw the old pump, I took that apart, the screen was clogged. And the customer wanted a warranty on the repair. And I told him, well, either we clean the tank here, it's going to take hours. And he was already threatening to take me to court for charging him too much. I'm like, dude, then take this car, clean the tank yourself, and then I can give you, you know, a 2-month warranty, maybe. Because you saw the last clips there, I was not in a good mood. This was one of the hardest customers to deal with. You know, you're doing your best. This car is a basket case, and they expect you to fix it for like 1 fee. So that was that. So he took it back. He got it towed back to North Carolina because I told him it's probably not going to make it there. It's just going to clog up again. And then he sent me pictures. He cleaned the tank. He couldn't remove it because you have to take the whole car apart, kind of like this Audi here, to get the fuel tank off. But he sprayed it out, vacuumed it out, put the new pump in, and it drove fine for a few days, and it started getting clogged again with that code. I'm like, take the pump out, check that screen, it's going to be clogged. Sure enough, it was. He even sent me a picture that, sure enough, even after his cleaning, the screen looked like that. So then he went to town and did like a thorough cleaning, rinsing it out and vacuuming it out again and again and again, and finally the car is back to normal on the new pump, not setting any fuel pressure codes. So that was the resolution to this stalling problem. Otherwise, you know, we fixed his wipers, but everything else the customer didn't want to pay for, sunroof, dome lights, I left it as it showed up to the shop. Now, it was a very interesting diagnosis, you know, to figure out the LIN bus problems. So that's why I held on to that case study for a year. This was filmed in 2023, and now after a year, I'm just putting it out there, and if the customer, you know, wants to use it to fix his Volvo, have at it. But if you know, if someone doesn't want to pay for diagnostics, why would I just put out that free information for them to use? You know, that wouldn't be good business practice, I guess. So that's it. You know, it's back on the road. I haven't heard from the customer in quite a while, so maybe he'll watch these videos and find some useful information in there. Let's talk about why I occasionally take on these basket cases. Some people were, you know, like, if this showed up in my shop, get it out of here. Well, we operate a little differently here. So I've read in the comments, like, Ivan, why do you torture yourself? Why do you take on these butchered cars? Well, a few reasons. First, I don't know how butchered they are until they get dropped off at my shop. And a lot of these cars that are in that state come from far away. People are completely desperate. They're basically either going to junk the car, which might do the car a favor, or, you know, they actually need a real diagnosis. And, you know, I don't get these cars that often, but maybe 1 or 2 a year where, you know, they fill out the appointment form and they're like, oh, my wipers don't work and it stalls out. Like, oh, how hard could that be to diagnose? Well, if they've been working on it for a year, and, you know, what the history is, that's not always in the description there. So it shows up, wires are cut, spliced, things are hanging out, the car's half disassembled. Well, and then the other red flag is they ask, how much is it going to cost to fix my car, without me even seeing the car. That's a red flag. So you know it's been messed with, and they've been trying to save money by doing it themselves, but only digging a deeper rabbit hole, which is going to take a lot more time and effort to dig back out. So when these cars show up, I'm straightforward with the customer. Like, hey, we have to restore this to stock, and then if something doesn't work, we'll do, you know, the diagnosis from there. For example, that Nissan truck that was kind of in the same ballpark there, but that one was a walk in the park compared to this Volvo. So I think that's all I wanted to say from that. But these basket case butchered cars, they are some of the best learning experiences that you can ask for. So, you know, a lot of variables here. Things have been messed with, touched, cut, spliced, whatever. Modules have been replaced. So you start peeling back the onion and you actually learn a lot more than if the car was in its virgin state if it just had one problem. So I love to learn on each vehicle I get into diagnose and then share that information with all you guys, because everyone here loves to learn. So with that, thanks all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the Volvo from Hell case study, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.